One of the most important things in the game that you need to know is where to spend your first 7 free points in Cyberpunk 2077. Once you get the game, you're going to be scratching your head and you'll be like, where should I actually apply these points? If I want to play stealthy, where do I put these points? If I want to play, guns blazing, where do I put them? If I want to be a brawler, where do I pull them? If I just want to be running around with a katana, where do I actually put these points? This is LaserBolt, and welcome to today's video, guys. Today, we're going to be showing you guys where to spend your first 7 points. And I know some of you guys are going to be scratching your head because the game, like I said earlier, does not do a really good job explaining where to spend them. But I'm going to tell you guys, depending on how you want to play, I'm going to break down each different category on your different play styles. And I'm going to tell you guys, this is where you guys should invest more points. This is where you shouldn't invest too many points. And the reason why this is actually going to be very good is because you're going to get a head start in that subcategory to be able to reach the highest level. Now, you're able to get a total of 20 points for that specific category. Now, the faster you get to those 20 points, the better it's going to be for your playstyle because you're going to be able to do more cooler things once you hit those 20 points. And of course, like always, unlock more perks. So that's extremely important. But if you guys do find these videos helpful and informative, give me the Heat's favorite, guys. Drop a comment, drop a like. But most importantly, Fernando, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn on those notifications so you guys won't miss when Cyberpunk 2070 videos go live. We're going to have a ton of them, guys. Don't forget to join our Discord channel. Link is down below. We're giving away a free copy for Cyberpunk 2077. So if you guys haven't gotten a copy yet, make sure you guys head on over there. Or if you just want to have a cool place to chat it up, check out some tips, tricks, builds, talk to people that play the game, make sure you guys head on over to our Discord. Link is down below. So let's talk about the first and most important thing that you're going to be having to figure out when the game loads. So we're going to be getting a couple of chances to actually spend 7 points into 4 different sets of attributes. We have body, intelligence, reflex, technical ability, and cool. Now, if you guys go over these, they're going to give you kind of like a brief explanation of what these actually do. And some of you guys might be like, okay, well, that sounds kind of cool. But what the game does not explain is that these are actually tied to specific perks. And if you invest too much on a category that's not going to fit your playstyle, you're going to be wasting points. And that's not a good thing. So if you want to get a head start of, I wish I would have known this earlier and someone would have told me this earlier. But this is definitely going to be something that I'm going to be using on my other playthrough. You could take away points from a different category and apply them to another one. And instead of just 7 points, even have more points to put into each category. So let's go ahead and get started with the first one. I think a lot of you guys are going to want to be playing with a katana because maybe not a katana, or you're definitely going to want to have those blades in your arms. So I think a lot of people are going to go for that type of, melee blade build. And I think that's going to be very fundamental. And I think I see a lot of people actually playing with this because there is a big incentive to actually playing with blades. So playing with katanas or playing with the arms that actually become blades. So if you guys are planning to use the blades, you're definitely going to want to invest on reflex. The reason why you want to invest on reflex is because that's going to give you the subcategory of blades. And this is where you're going to be diving in and using a lot of your, perks into and making sure your perks go into this one. Because if you are going to be using blades, mantis blades, you're definitely going to want to make sure you put a lot of points into reflex so you can unlock the perks a lot faster than you would if you were investing another one. The other one you want to invest a lot in, of course, is cool, because cool is going to actually give you some really cool perks like the assassination perk. It's going to give you the stun blow perk, which are really good and are going to primarily be benefiting you when it comes to melee weapons. So you are going to be spending a lot of points in that cool category. And last but not least, you want to go ahead and invest in body, because the body attribute is actually going to help you out regain your stamina. When you're using swords and blades, you're going to be running out of stamina very quickly because you're actually using that sword very often. So you want to be able to regain that stamina. And the only way you're able to regain that stamina is by putting a lot of stuff into body so you can unlock those perks. So overall, in general, guys, if you're using blades, cool, reflex, and body is the way to go. If I had to personally pick, I would definitely dump a lot in cool, dump a lot in reflex, and then dump a little bit into body and get it started like that. As the game progresses, you'll get more points, but this should give you a head start if you plan on using blades. All right, so now what happens if you guys want to play a tank build? What happens if you guys want to be like a tank melee? You want to be able to absorb a lot of damage, but you also want to be able to dish a lot of damage. This is also going to be determined if you want to use heavy weapons like like a heavy light machine gun, or if you want to use a bat, a hammer. These are actually going to be pretty good because these are going to be very heavy melee weapons, and these are actually going to be very beneficial to you. So, of course, the first thing you want to apply a lot of is in body. You want to make sure you kind of prioritize body because body's going to give you a lot of boost when it comes to actually getting a lot of perks that are going to be beneficial to you guys, which are pretty much the ones you're going to be spending a lot in athletics and street brawler. Now, street brawler is a really good one because that's going to be focusing primarily on fist fighting. It's also going to be focusing on you being able to get your stamina back. So body is a really good one to have when it comes to building a tank build. The other one you want to invest in well is of course on cool, because like I said earlier, cool is going to focus primarily on crit damage and resistance, and that's going to be really important if you're going for a tank build and a DPS build. So spend your points on body and cool. Now, I know a lot of you guys might be playing this game and you want to go for like a full-on hacker build. A full-on hacker build is actually pretty good, and I kind of want to make a playthrough where I just do like all hacking. That's probably going to be my second playthrough of the game, but I want to make sure that you guys spend the majority of the points when it comes to hacking. We plan on just hacking your way through the game, not going too much where like you're using a gun, but you're mostly hacking different body parts. You're hacking different turrets, cameras, and all that good stuff. You want to make sure that you spend a lot of points into intelligence. Intelligence is going to be very, very important because this is going to primarily be focusing theoretically on everything that has to do with hacking. So you want to spend the majority of the points there, but you also want to spend the majority of points on cool because cool is actually going to be very determined based on how effective your hacking ability is. So you want to spend a lot of points on intelligence, a lot of points on cool. Remember, this is all going to factor on that's the playstyle you want to go with. After you spend these points, you can't go back and revert these points, so you want to make sure that when you spend them correctly. Another build that I think a lot of you people might not be using, but I highly recommend you guys definitely use is the engineer build. Now, the engineer build is going to be focusing on being able to craft every single item that they want at their disposal. If they want to craft grenades, if they want to craft weapons, if they want to get weapons for cheaper, if they want to make better weapons, if they want to turn common weapons into legendary weapons, then that is going to be a very fundamental option you want to have. And I think basically almost all the builds are going to want to kind of have a little bit of this, but if you're going to be focusing primarily of being fully upgraded, being extremely like up top tier, fully upgraded, you're going to want to spend all your points on technical. Pretty much technical abilities is the way to go if you just want to go all out engineer. Now, if you want to go guns blazing, guys, you want to go guns blazing, you want to be able to use assault rifles, shotguns, hand cannons, you want to be able to use all that different types of weapon, you're going to want to spend the majority of points on reflex because this one in particular is going to focus primarily on assault rifles, handguns, and that is where the bread and butter is going to be if you're going to want to be going guns blazing. This is also going to control your weapon recoil, your horizontal sway. It's going to give you a huge benefit when you're using assault rifles, SMGs, hand cannons. So if you want to go guns blazing, spend a lot of points on the reflex trait and also in the body trait and also in the cool trait. But primarily, I would definitely focus on reflex. I would focus on body and then cool because cool is just going to give you being able to output more damage. But the reflex one is going to focus primarily on guns blazing and all in general. Last but not least, guys, I want to mention the solo build, which is going to be focusing primarily on being able to output damage and being able to get health back. That's going to be the main concept of the solo build. If you plan on playing like this and want to structure your way so you could get that nice synergy going, you're going to want to spend a lot of points on cool and a lot of points on reflex. This is going to be extremely important because the more points you spend on reflex and the more points you spend on cool, you're going to be able to unlock certain attributes that are going to give you that health back without having a problem. All right, now onto one everybody's favorite build, which is the stealth build. I know a lot of you guys are going to go be rocking stealth. Silence is key. And if you are wanting to go full on stealth, I'm going to recommend two where you want to spend the majority of points in. You're going to want to spend cool. You're going to want to focus primarily that because that's going to unlock the stealth perk and the cold blood perk. In addition to that, you're going to want to spend a lot of points into the reflex ability or attribute because that's going to unlock a couple of really good options that are going to allow you to kind of use vampire builds where you're going to be able to deal damage and get your health back. Overall, in general, guys, I hope this video does help you determine where to put your points at the beginning of the game and give you that head start you're going to need to play the way you want to play. Because I know a lot of people are probably going to get stuck here. They're going to spend their points in certain areas that are not going to be beneficial to them, and that's going to cost them to play the game a little bit different and not the way they intend to play. So there you guys have it. That is how to spend your first points in Cyberpunk 2077 the right way. I do hope you guys enjoy this content. If you do me his favor, guys, drop a comment and a like. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more Cyberpunk 27 content. And I'll talk to you guys later.